What's up everybody, it's me Chris and I've got another great unboxing for you. In this one we're going to be looking at the Verus Iron Shield for the iPhone 6 Plus. It took me a long time to get this case and I'm hoping that it's a contender for the case that will stay on my phone. Let's get into the package and take a look. Alright guys, so let's dive into this case. Let's start with the package and see what we think about that. Starting off, it looks very familiar if you are a Spigen case owner. It's got the hard plastic with the case showing through. The one difference is that Spigen normally puts their advertising across the bottom on their newer cases, and here is this little fine sticker right across the front here. And it says further advanced iron shield for the iPhone 6 Plus Verus case, and there is their website, www.veruscase.com. And there's how the case should look on the actual device. When you look at the side, you can see through and you can kind of see what the case looks like. They've got a cutout of the iPhone 6 Plus in there, which is nice. On the back, really doesn't say much. This is embossed in, says Verus, the world to share experience. And here on the bottom, it gives you some information. Advantage of the product is slim case, reception rate improved, and increased strength, and says the same thing that it says up here, Verus Design Lab, and this is the SKU for it in case anybody cares. That's pretty much it. To open it, let's see how this thing is. There's a piece of transparent plastic probably on both sides that I should be able to get into fairly easily, and yeah, it opens right up like a book. Inside, let's see what we got before we actually get to the case. You've got this little guy, which is the aluminum case for a case iron shield, and it says one of the most complete materials, Verus, right there on the bottom. And when you open it, it shows you how to actually lay this guy in step by step. Let's get into the actual case itself. Make sure there's nothing else on the inside. There is not. So we'll move these two guys out of the way and let's look at the actual case itself. There's a nice little cutout here of a gold iPhone 6 Plus, and on the inside, this is their version of the air cushion technology that you would get with, say, the Spigen case. So again, very similar product here. But this looks like a maze game you would play as a kid. You get in the Happy Meal, you get the little ball going down, or even or other, but you get the point. It looks like a maze, but I guess this is supposed to disperse shock if you were to drop it on either end, and you should not have any issues. Everything looks very similar to the Neo Hybrid Metal. The slit is different. There's actual drilled holes there for the speaker. Then you've got your lightning port and your microphone headphone port. And I do like the volume up down buttons a little better on this case, and I like the power button not having power on it because it's just kind of understood. And I like this case better already because Iron Shield is actually etched into the metal, whereas on the Neo Hybrid it's like a sticker. So I'm gonna pop my phone out of the Neo Hybrid if I can. Let's see how the easiest way to take this off, because this guy was a little tough to get on. I'm just gonna remove the metal band and pop this part off. So we'll keep both metal bands. Let's do apples to apples, oranges to oranges. Here's both metal bands side by side. And I'm gonna do a full comparison video, but just to give you an example, the Verus is on top with the actual cutout buttons, which is very nice, versus the sticker buttons that you get on the Spigen Neo Hybrid Metal. They both employ the same kind of double-sided tape there to hold those in on both sides. So I guess that's really the only way to do it. Another big win in style for the Verus is that it's got the drilled holes versus just the slot for the speakers. And looks to me that the lightning port is bigger on the actual Verus than it is on the Spigen case. On the side, another big win I was telling you about, Iron Shield is actually cut in versus the sticker. Very nice, and just a standard power button, very nice. But both cases look almost identical otherwise, with the Neo Hybrid color being a little different, a little off, if you will. And I was actually wrong. I think that the Iron Shield fits the Space Gray a little bit more closely than what you get with the actual speaking case. It's just my opinion. Let's also look inside and look at the air cushion technology differences. If you look at Verus is on your left and speakers on the right, they look almost identical the way the cases are. You probably could wear these cases interchangeably, to be honest. One thing that is interesting to me is on the speaking case, you see how there's like some cutouts to give some flex for these buttons. There is really no such thing here. There is a raised bump on the Verus on the inside that you can kind of push in on both sides, but that's just something that I think Spigen might have done a better job with. We'll just have to wait and see. Also the rubber is much more rigid on the Verus than it is on the Spigen. Much more rigid, not as easy to bend. So that's actually a good thing protection wise. So let's pop the iPhone in. One last thing I just looked at, both don't have an open window, meaning that your Apple logo on the back is fully exposed. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm gonna drop this guy in and it goes in pretty easy, no issues, and looks good. Everything matches up the way I would expect it to match up. That microphone is just barely out on this one. We're gonna take the actual rest of the case and put it together. I always put my cases together two-part. That's just my way of doing it. If you guys want to try to do it another way, you know, that's your prerogative. I just like to put it together two-part. And this thing goes on really tight. All right, it's all the way in, and as you can see, it looks pretty freaking good. And to be honest with you guys, and I'm being 100% honest, right off the bat, because I've been wearing this other case for a couple days, I like the feel of the Verus much better. It just feels more substantial, and I guess it's because of this more rigid plastic that they use, rubber case, inner case. I just like it a lot better. It feels freaking awesome, and everything's nice and exposed so you can actually see it, and the speaker is lined up pretty well. I think they did a pretty good job on that. I'm just checking final fitment. I think overall this is a better implementation. I have to be honest. I can easily get to the volume up down button. The volume buttons up and down, or I'm sorry, the volume on off button, the volume up and down buttons are not as tactile as they are on this. And I think that Spigen was smart to incorporate these little cutouts there. But that's okay. I mean, I can still push them on and off and there's not an issue, but it's just not as tactile in my opinion. Overall, I think this is a great case. It looks freaking awesome, and I like having that extra metal band around for security and just for looks. It looks almost like the phone was made that way, and I don't mind it. It looks really good. The back material is very tacky. I really like that. It feels really good. Some dirt and stuff could possibly get off in here if you got real nasty hands or do that kind of work where you get a lot of stuff or oils and other in your hands, so that may be a concern for some of you. I don't mind the dimple because a good hot rag will probably take it right off. But here is the difference between the Neo Hybrid metal and the actual Verus. This is very interesting. I just saw something. If you look down in there, and you guys can't really see it, you can see my finger through there? There's a little bit of a gap. So I don't really like that much, but there is a bit of a gap in that little cutout there. That doesn't exist with the other case. Just finding little things. I'll do more tests, talk to you, but overall I'm very happy with this case. Very rigid case, very nice construction, and it's a nice looking case. Nice and clean, gives you that real nice business look by our friends over at Verus. So took a long time to get, but now that I've got it, I'm actually glad that I do have it. I will be doing a video of the same case for the iPhone 6 in gold, so you definitely subscribe if you don't want to miss that. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.